The illegal migrant small boats crisis is blowing up in the Channel yet again. Hello, I'm Alex Armstrong and this is GBN Originals. Just yesterday, the Express reported that French Interior Minister Brunel Retailleau is finally promising to rethink his approach after a sit-down with our own Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper. Now let's not kid ourselves. This is a crisis that's been going on for years, and the French have been dragging their heels while people smugglers run rings around them. It's a scandal, plain and simple, and the British public are fed up with watching this chaos unfold on our doorstep. And the numbers don't lie. Given the brief spell of good weather on Tuesday alone, 326 migrants crossed the Channel. Monday saw 182 and Sunday saw a staggering 592. That's over 1,000 people in 3 days, all crammed into flimsy dinghies, risking their lives because the French can't or won't get a grip. People smugglers are cashing in on our good weather, launching these death traps with impunity. And what's France doing about it? Well, according to the Express, the French Interior Minister's big idea is to tackle what he calls taxi boats. Now, these are the sneaky little operations where the criminals launch from quiet canals or deserted beaches, picking up migrants further down the coast. It's clever and ruthless, and it's working because the French are simply letting it. Now, the French Interior Minister's claiming he's ready to change tactics. He said this new approach might finally disrupt the smugglers' game. But we've heard it all before, haven't we? Vague promises and grand statements that never ever seem to stick. Meanwhile, the French Navy's out there literally playing an escort service. It's the only thing they're doing in the Channel. The Express journalists saw it with their own eyes. A French Navy ship herding an inflatable packed with scores of men right up to the median line in the Channel, where our border force vessel had to swoop in and ferry them to Dover. It's frankly absurd. France isn't stopping these boats, are they? They're practically handing them over to us. And we're the ones, of course, left to pick up the bill and everything that comes with it.
Us blokes hate talking about a little thinning up top, and many of us settle with that balding look, but that wasn't for me, and that's why I went to Elite Hair, the world's leading hair loss clinic, and now I've had over 4,000 new hairs added to this barnet, and very soon I'm going to be rocking some brand new flowing locks, and you can too. So how does it work? Step 1, I sent the team a set of photos of my head. Step 2, I then spoke to one of the Elite Hair staff who looked through my photo submissions and worked out a treatment plan for me. Step 3, Elite Hair then organised accommodation and the treatment. I was at their state-of-the-art treatment centre in Istanbul, and their incredibly kind staff took me through the process, and before I knew it, I was in surgery. Elite Hair and their leading medical experts have specialised in pain-free treatments using the sleep deep method, and they really mean that. I felt incredibly relaxed the whole time, and I haven't felt any pain since. Check out Elite Hair using the link in the description. When you do, Elite Hair will provide you with a free personalised hair analysis. Then you'll join over 100,000 happy patients. Hit that link and start your hair growth journey like I did today.
So let's be clear, the French aren't clueless. They've got 1,200 security personnel they can deploy daily along the coast. And we're pumping money into their efforts too. 172 million this year alone, courtesy of you, the British taxpayer. And for what? To watch them wave these boats on their merry way? Well, one expert quoted it and put it bluntly. The French must urgently stop the boats in the water, or they're complicit in helping the criminal people smugglers. Complicit. Well, that's a strong word, isn't it? But it's hard to argue when you see the evidence piling up and up and up. They've got the resources. They've got the funding. So where's the action? And don't let anyone tell you this is just a French problem. Our government's got its own problems and plenty to answer for. Yvette Cooper's been in the job long enough now to know this isn't working. Yet here she is, trotting after Paris for more talks while the boats just keep rolling in. The Express says she's putting in the work and the graft to tackle the smugglers. Really? Come on. Because where I'm standing, it looks like she's putting more into air miles than it is to solving this crisis. The Home Office loves to roll out these buzzwords, cooperation, disruption, partnerships, but the results speak louder than the spin. Over 1,000 crossings in 3 days isn't disruption, it's a free-for-all, pure chaos. The smugglers, of course, are laughing all the way to the bank. They're laughing at you at home. These aren't small-time crooks. They're organised crime gangs raking in millions thanks to our porous open borders. The taxi boat trick is just their latest in their playbook. They're adapting faster than the authorities on either side of the channel can keep up with. And why wouldn't they? The risks are low for them and the rewards are sky high. And the French response is about as intimidating as a wet paper towel, frankly. And why wouldn't these migrants try their luck at the end of the day? They've got plenty of reasons to come to the UK. A 5-star hotel, warm bed, 3 meals a day, and benefits to top it all off. We're practically a global billboard for anyone who wants to come here and sponge off the hard-working taxpayers while our own seniors are freezing at home and our farmers are pushed out of business. Now, some will say, of course, oh, it's complicated, it's international law, human rights, all that jazz. Oh, spare me, please. The 1951 Refugee Convention doesn't mandate open borders or unchecked people smuggling. It's about protection, not pandemonium. And let's not pretend this is all about poor souls fleeing war. Of course, many of them are. But in my opinion, most of the people crossing are economic migrants, coached by smugglers to game the system. We've got a right to know who's coming in and out of our country and why. The security of our families, women and children are put at risk by our own government, who are failing to take this crisis seriously. And how do we know so many of them are economic migrants? Well, the answer is pretty obvious. They have already arrived in safe countries, multiple safe countries, before they arrive in the UK. If they're serious about fleeing wars and persecution, then they'll immediately go to the safest country, but they're risking their lives yet again to cross the channel. So what's the fix? Well, it could start with France growing a backbone. They could stop the boats before they even hit the water. Use that 1,200 strong force. Patrol the canals. Hit the smugglers where it hurts. But they're not going to, are they? Why? Why wouldn't they? Well, they're happy to let those migrants come to the UK because guess what? Once they're here, it's no longer their problem, is it? And what could we be doing? Well, I think there's a simple solution. Cut the benefits, stop the hotels, and declare there is never a path to citizenship for anyone whose first act in entering the UK is to break the law. And better yet, we could just tow the boats back to France and prove that this journey will only end you up right where you started. And who cares what the French think about it? It's not like they're going to be doing anything to help us anytime soon. And the time for Britain is now. It's time to take tough action and not more empty words. And here at home, the reality is that our leaders are more interested in photo opportunities and adjusting their rhetoric than they are in fixing the problem. The Border Securities Bill, Yvette Cooper and Keir Starmer's big bet that declares they are treating smugglers like terrorists, slapping them with travel bans and phone restrictions. But it's no good. It's just words on a paper. Enforcement is what matters, and we're not seeing any of it. Well, the British public aren't stupid. You see dinghies washing up, the hotels filling up, your taxpayers' money draining away to pointless causes. Many people are asking why France can't or just simply won't do its bit, and why our own leaders keep faffing instead of acting. The small boats crisis isn't unsolvable. It's just that nobody's got the guts to solve it. France needs to step up, Britain needs to toughen up, and the smugglers need to be shut down and locked up. Anything less is a betrayal of every law and every vote cast to end this crisis. Election after election, you have told governments you want this to end. But anyway, Labour are rapidly approaching a year in government, and soon they won't be able to blame the Tories for this problem for much longer. Thank you for watching. This has been Alex Armstrong. Please don't forget to subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel for more.